Let's get it started. What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Welcome to the tribe. I hope you guys subscribe. And don't forget, the truth not only will it set you free, but it will not be denied. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I am the Bad Wolf, your most gracious host, and the foreign national born natural. Can we get into it? I think we finsta. All right. So once again, guys, we've seen this video Monday, this coming Monday. We should be having a live show, and we'll be having Jessica Saxton on there, who is a civil rights activist and litigator, and she is not afraid to put her foot down on the neck. This lady has impressed me. I had to reach out. She reached out. Um, and so she will be on the live 7:30 Central Time. Same Wolf time, same Wolf channel. Let's get it. And don't forget to join me over on my other YouTube channel, which is the Bad Wolf or Bad Wolf Unrestricted. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This particular video goes out to all of the people out there who are disabled or on disability, even special needs. Over the years, I've been contacted here and there by our fellow Americans in these particular situations, and they've asked me numerous questions about the passport process and being a national, et cetera, et cetera. So, off the top of my head, I'm going to try to answer all of those questions right here and now. Okay. So, some of these might seem obvious to some people, but believe it or not, lots of people have asked me about them. So I want to make sure that we cover those. All right. So, first off, if you were born in the United States or you were naturalized here, you are in fact a national. Okay. Let's start at the very beginning. So, you are in fact a state citizen. Under GPO Style Manual, Section 5.23, in designating the natives of the several states, okay, then they go on to give you the following forms. They say if you use the following forms, you are in fact a state citizen and you are also a national, but I'll explain that. So, a state citizen literally means you are somebody who was born in the republic, the private, ground, de jure area known as, let's say, Florida State, Florida. The form would be Floridian. That has standing in law all by itself. You don't see much of it anymore, if at all, because it's considered a private thing, a private term. The form itself is private, but the government recognizes it. The states, who you deal with 99% of the time in most of your life, they don't like that shit. They don't like it at all because it means that you're their boss and you're operating in the private. And they can only deal with living people, or excuse me, they can only deal with non-living people like corporations and entities, associations. So you don't see it on almost any of their documents. Doesn't mean you don't have the right to use it. That's why one of your second or third questions asked on most of your applications, U.S. citizen, alien, or other. You should have been checking other and putting Floridian, Wisconsinite, Texan, Californian. You still have the right to do all of these things. That is also a Native American. You are native to America. Okay. The term national means that not only you are a Floridian, New Yorker, Wisconsinite, Californian, Texan, whatever, but you're saying, I don't want to be just limited to my state. I want to enjoy all of us together. Wherever I go, there I am. All right. So that's then being a national. It's taking each state's organic republic people, the de jure, the private, and instead of individualizing them, you combine them all together, elevate it. That level is then called nationals. All of us together and all the organic states together are national. So individually, if you want to be called a state citizen, you can. If you want to be called a national, at any point in time, you can interchange them. Then you are in fact a national. You're both. They're not exactly synonymous, but they're pretty close. All right. Most of the time, the government, they don't really, they just basically go by you're a national. All right. But there's multiple types of nationals. There's a non citizen U.S. national, which is what we are. But there's also a subclass of non U.S. non citizen national. That's a subclass. Those are the people in Guam and Samoa. So they fall under being nationals as well, but those people they do not get to vote. They don't get citizenship. That's how it works. Now, if you operate exclusively as a national and a state citizen, you're actually not supposed to vote for anything presidential or national or anything like that. Okay. Only local stuff. And then that can be dependent, right? Because you're saying you're private. All that stuff is the corporation, which is by law not actually even American. It's in the American family, but it's like if I married your sister, I'm in the family, but my last name is Lovett and you guys are Johnsons. So though I'm an honorary Johnson, I'm not really a Johnson. All right. That's how that works. So that means you're saying, I don't want to be a part of those political, public affairs. I'm not a trustee. All right. So whether you're disabled, special needs, you're on disability, etc., you get all of these too. You're not going to be denied. Maybe often tried, but never denied. Okay. You're not going to be denied. You have it. All of us have this at birth as nationals, state citizens, and then we acquire by law U.S. citizenship. We have the ability to represent ourselves as living people. We're always in the present. This is also where quantum syntax grammar comes in, that the proper English language is spoken in the present. We don't talk about the future or the past. We don't use like we're going to deregulate this. Uh, I, I won't go into quantum syntax grammar here, okay? But anyway, so we present ourselves because we're always in the present. But what they do is that's the damning word or preposition, I think it is anything. Register, resident. Those are all their words. When you put that in there, that means to convert from one to another, to move, or to wipe clean, to change. In Latin, tabula rasa means clean slate, rasa, to erase. That's where we get the word erase. And the ra, as in register, re. Okay. So no matter what your disability is, you have those things. Matter of fact, for people locked up, prison, jail, you still have your constitutional rights unless a judge from the federal court or higher has removed them. You still have them. The lower courts cannot take away your constitutional rights unless you've done something criminal, but your other rights are still in place. They can only take away that something like maybe your gun rights, but you still have all the other ones. But even then, your gun rights should truly be taken away, no matter what a lower court says. A higher one has to do that. They're the law. Okay. Now, can a lower court say, well, we're gonna, take away this and that? Well, yeah, they can do that, but you can challenge it in federal court because a federal court is the one who's only really supposed to do that. Federal judges, not the regular ones. They're taking away a privilege, but you have a right. Those are two separate things. Okay. So now, other people of specific and certain disabilities also asked, well, if I become a national, first of all, like I just said, just already answered that. You are already a national. You already are a state citizen. You have that. What a lot of people don't understand is that you have both. They're like wearing two different hats. Okay, let's do it this way. Sorry, wasn't trying to put my junk in front of you guys. All right, so here we've got the national. Here we've got the U.S. citizen. That's all it is. You were born with this one, okay? The law gave you this one and said you can use this one anytime you want. You should have always been in this one, private, over here, letting them do whatever it is they do. But they shimmy shammed you since birth, gave you all of their stuff, and said, hey, give this to your child, which child means a purchased product and sub corporation of two parent corporations, a pair of renters. Okay, so we don't use those terms. Um, and when they get 18 or older and they can finally do legal things, meaning come on in, the water's fine. What's that, Diddy? Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah, so basically it was Diddy. Bad boy. Saying, come on in the pool. Pool's fine. Hot tub is fine. Come on in. So when you were 18, you couldn't wait. You got your driver's license, you got your bank account, and all those times they said, well, you need to prove residency. There's that word again, res idens, to reside and enter, or they resed your identity. They changed your identity. That's what the word res means. They gave you the all caps name. On the state level, it is on the topography of what it looks like is capitis dimutio maxima, Latin for to raise the lettering is also to capitalize. It's a double entendre, and meaning it has two meanings. And dimutio is to diminish, and maxima is the maximum. So to raise the lettering of your name, like the ancient Romans used to do to represent a slave, or building columns, to raise it tall, to make money, okay, two things at once, is a diminishment to the maximum of your rights, loss of name, loss of freedom, all that stuff. And also in UCC 1-201 definition section under conspicuous format, any writing that's not normal sized, if it's smaller or bigger, is conspicuous format that indicates it's commercial, public, generally for profit, represents a different jurisdiction. You're entering into their world. Now, on the Fed level, no. Capitis Demuta Maxima is not, they don't use that. They use the taller lettering, but that is just so that they can see the lettering better. They're actually under the Constitution, okay? And they work for us. States who are under the UCC are different. So you, no matter what your disability is, old, uh, special needs, handicapped, you're on disability, you are disabled, doesn't matter. So, matter of fact, when you started whatever, when you got your money, when you were working, when you were working, what it was is that your straw person, your ens legis, which means your straw man, your nom de gore, which means war name in Latin. Okay, yeah, speak a little of that. One of four languages, five, whatever it is now. When you were doing that, the straw man was the one that was the key, like a glove or a suit that allows you to go into hell or a radioactive mine. And you were supposed to mine gold with the suit and then take it out and put it back in the United States of America. That's what the straw man was really about. So, that being stated, um, just I'm watching the cameras. Things are oh, there's always something weird going on outside of my house. It's just always something. Uh, it gave you access to their world. You did the work. as a national, but you are regarding yourself or representing yourself, your representative is the straw man. So you are allowing it to represent you, but you are still a national. All right. So to be like, well, if I become a national, am I going to lose this? No, you're not going to lose anything. You already are it. You had, matter of fact, you had to be it in order to get access to being a U.S. citizen. That's how it works. You had to be a national to do that. Now in DC, it's the reverse. Most of them are born as DC types of nationals or DC citizens. Okay, so they are U.S. citizens, but then by law, they also get nationality. All right. And if they reside in any state long enough, along with that, then they can be considered a state citizen of that particular state. That's how it works. Now, one of the things I will say is that for people receiving the state or the government benefits, now there's a difference. We have some things the government provides are our rights. A lot of a lot of things the states provide are benefits and privileges, but a vast majority of those benefits and privileges aren't just from them and out of the kindness of their heart. They're pimping the government out in our name, pulling money out of the trust, which is our money, and then they're providing you these things. So let's say you want a free phone or whatever else. They'll say, okay, well, government, we're going to launch this program. The people seem to want it, and we need to charge for the each person, $200, $250 a month. But then they'll give you a phone program and get the discount rate, and it'll only end up really costing them, say, $40 or $50 per person. So they're pimping because they're for profit. And they're saying, hey, government, the people want this, give us more money. So the government, instead of asking us directly, hey, do you guys really want free phones? Do you guys really want that? Now, all the free stuff sounds good, right? Until you understand that that's also what's putting us further in debt on the public side. And then you also have to keep in mind that they're making a lot of money off of us. Now, if everybody, and probably in the future, some point in time, we will have a system set up where all of our basic needs are free. But what is that going to come with? The government and the states, if the states even survive that, they may eventually just get sucked into or removed. But knowing the government, they do like to sub out their work, so the states probably will never, not ever go anywhere, but they will probably merge into one like super thing, and then the government and all that'll be in there. But who knows? We'll see that. We'll see what happens in the next 40, 50, or 100 years. I mean, I won't probably be here, or will I? I don't know. So at the end of the day, it's also overstanding that if you are receiving those benefits, though they are derived from your money, no matter how you look at it, because either they're making money directly off of you or they're pulling money from the government. Okay. So it's your money. They're only giving you back stuff and then making you pay taxes on it because you're operating as a U.S. citizen to receive those benefits, because that's what you are. When you receive the benefit, you are utilizing your straw man, and it is the U.S. citizen, really. Okay. But that also then looks like you're making a public contact. So don't freak out like, oh man, if I take the benefits, I'm ruined as being a national. No, that's not it. But you are in fact receiving the benefit, which means that you are construed to be a U.S. citizen, their property or slave, a legal person, and that yeah, they can hold you accountable to certain things and certain behaviors. But you have two sides. So you're not going to ever lose your nationality or your citizenship or your benefits when doing these things because you already are a national. However, if you renounce, which I do not recommend doing, you'll find that there's a little game that's involved in that too. And the game essentially is this. So you're thinking you just want to go and renounce your U.S. or your U.S. citizenship, right? So you're like, I just want to get rid of that. And some people have, but you really need to make sure that you have all of your T's crossed and I's dotted because otherwise you could end up stateless. And that is not a good place to be. Now, when you go to renounce, because I looked into all these things, I have not formally, officially, by court method renounced, but I have distanced myself from using the U.S. straw man as much as possible. And I have made a clear cut legal affidavit stating that I, the living man, am not the U.S. citizen, but it is my legal person that I operate. I know what it is. It's my estate, and in which case I control it. Well, actually, I guess technically well, there's some things I should properly do if I'm going to say I own it. So we'll just say I control it. We'll leave it at that. When you go, if you go, you have to understand it's going to cost you anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500 to do that. But when you look at the form, something's interesting is on there. It actually says renouncing or renunciation of nationality. But that's not what you wanted to do. You wanted to keep your nationality and get rid of the U.S. citizenship. But I digress. Why get rid of the U.S. citizenship? Because you heard it was bad. It's this evil muckety muck boogity boogity thing. It's a tool. Use the tool the proper way and know what it is. It's an estate. It's a business trust. So use it for the public the way you need it. That's all. It's not a big scary demon or anything like that. Okay. It is a two-way access point that when you put that vessel suit of armor on, you are in their world and they have access to you through it. So you take it off. You can also inform them you're not in that capacity. If you go and knock on a judge's door at 2 o'clock in the morning and ask him about your court case, he's going to say, I'm at my private residence. I'm not in my public capacity right now. I'm not at work. What are you doing here? You have the right to do the same thing. How do we know we have both of these things? I don't know. Look up 8 U.S.C. 1401A, Cornell Law EDU. Oh, which by Cornell Law. I know some of you guys who write for them, watch my show. Appreciate you. Um, so also 8 U.S.C. 1101A 22A and B says it right in there. We have both. But what came first? The organic. Then we got the man-made de facto. So if you renounce and use that form, they're going to wipe out your nationality and your citizenship because that's going to take both down. Now, if you were to try to renounce, you would have to specifically create probably a document or write on that document that you want to and are retaining your nationality while getting rid of or renouncing your U.S. citizenship. But once again, why? Unless you're really tired of the country, you're done. And understand this, when you do that, if you do that, any kids you would have from that point forward lose their ability to be here or to claim U.S. citizenship and nationality. It's gone. It has been wiped. You're done, son. So now people talk about, well, what if I want to claim my benefits, my disability, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, after talking with these agencies, I was informed that as long as you are in the country 6 months prior to claiming your benefits or your whatever else, you are entitled to claim that which you have worked for. It's not going to go anywhere. After that, once you start receiving it, you can move where you want to move, do what you want to do, et cetera, et cetera. So as long as you do not renounce and 6 months before you claim your benefits, you're here to apply, you're good. So that's it. I think I answered almost all the ones that people have asked me. So you now know that you already are a national. You already have a state citizenship as well. Um, you get your U.S. citizenship. You are entitled to all of those uh, rights, liberties, and freedoms that come along with that. Trying to think if there's anything else people have asked me when it comes to that. Most of the time, people just ask me, like, if I do this, will it interfere with whatever else I have going on? No, absolutely not. You already are the national. You already are a state citizen. You have that side. Look at it as almost Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You have both. And as long as you don't try to forcibly mix them, you are good. You do private things when you want to be private. You do public things when you want to be public. Ideally, you should be generating your compensation in the public and bringing it to the private. Everybody, if you're watching this, you should have a private irrevocable trust. You can use a revocable for many things, but that's still really considered domestic and could be considered or construed to be taxable. You do not have to register it if you do not want to, but generally they are looked at as something that you should register. Whereas an irrevocable, they generally do not like, but they're still recognized. Basically, it's like building your trust in America, which is separate legally and foreign to the United States corporation, and you are tax exempt and private. Okay. So if you want either one of those or both of those or a business trust or a 508, go to my YouTube, or you can go through my YouTube channel, but go directly to blacksite32.com. If you guys want to know more information on being in the private, some streaming courses and videos, go to jamesclovett.com. All right. So that's pretty much it. If I didn't cover something in this area, I will make a new video. But I just wanted to address these things for people who are concerned about becoming a national and losing their benefits. Same thing to the police officers out there who've asked me. It's the same thing. You guys already are nationals. Just when you're in public capacity, when you're in your patrol car and put your suit on, when you're at work, you are a U.S. citizen and you are taxable. But yes, we do have methods to help you not have to pay taxes. Okay. Educationally speaking, as always, none of this has gotten anybody into any form of trouble. These are just the things that all the wealthy people do, and they're little known things because nobody sits down and reads books anymore. Nobody reads the law. Everybody just continues to operate. Nobody goes to the books, to the law, and reads. So yeah, there's nothing here that's going to now with a lot of other people, if somebody's promising you access to tons of money and you can buy anything in the world, oh, look at me, I can buy anything in the world with this document and I'm going to use this form for this. It's probably trash. Otherwise, they would be looking like $1 million. They would be YouTubing from some mansion, nice car, girls, midgets with nachos. I mean, whatever, normal stuff. Um, and they're not. A lot of people out there, guys, have mental delusion or mental health issues. Some people are just doing it for the clicks. A lot of people aren't even actually living this life. They're watching videos, whether it's mine or somebody else's, and then they make a video because they want to get big and famous and whatever else. I'm not really interested in being big or famous, or infamous more than I already am. Now maybe 20 years ago, yeah, probably, but I was a different person then. Since then, it's just like, nah, I just want to be private. That's it. Which is kind of weird because here I am on a public platform, but this is how I can help you guys who want to learn this. And once again, this isn't for everybody, and especially the diehard gung ho U.S. citizen. Enjoy your cage and keep drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, whatever it is you're interested in. So, with that being said, that's pretty much it. If you guys see anybody using any of my information inappropriately, use that report button for defamation of character, bullying, slandering. Remember, guys, these are just your rights, liberties, and freedoms. If you want them, get them. I'm showing you guys the way you have to walk through. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. It's not what we're here about. I give you guys the pieces, you put them together for what's best for you. And you do not have to do everything or anything I mentioned on this. This is for people who want to be free, private, operating with the Constitution, your faith, your deity that you believe in, um, as you see fit. And when you decide you want to be a public person and in that arena and utilize their benefits and privileges, you can. That's all. The future's in your hands. With that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care, stay in the light, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hit that bell, like, and subscribe. I'll get the lights. Wolf's out. I got to do some more hunting.